Hi, it's been a little bit since I posted a video. I've just been getting used to my brand new job, working full-time now 5 to 6 days a week. Overtime is going to be the name of the game for these first few weeks at my new job. I'll be working Saturdays. I don't even know how long I'd be working on those Saturdays, but still, man, it's gonna be tough to do all of this on a somewhat consistent basis, but I'm still gonna try. I'm still gonna do the best that I can, and you know, it is what it is. So I mean, no matter what happens. So today we're gonna be looking at NASCAR can opener crashes. So basically just crashes that are bad enough to tear the car open and have all that styrofoam that you'd see within the doors just come flying right out. Take, for example, Brian Vickers at Darlington 2011, which might be in this video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video, shall we?
Well, what he wants to do is fly up through there right now early and catch Brian Vickers in the 83 and Martin Jr.
And there's
Speaking
Vickers,
of,
and there's Reagan. What's going on here?
all right, pretty interesting.
Look at the whole left side of the 83 car is gone. I mean, it's just ripped off, hanging on by a thread there.
Like he was hit with a can opener.
That's the name of the video. Look at this,
Martin
though.
Truex is the free pass position car, the 56, the Napa car. Vickers trying to get there, gets into Truex, gets into Reagan instead. Oh boy!
Right here is where he rips the side out of that thing.
It's so
all that blue foam.
amazing.
If you remember, Jeff Hammond in the pre-race talked about that energy absorbent foam in the left and right side. That's what you saw flying out of there.
It's so amazing of just how one tiny, even the smallest hit like that one could just rip open the side of the car. I mean, it is possible. You rarely see it nowadays, but it is possible.
You know, one of the things that I picked up on in some of the interviews we did from Denny Hamlin talking about the Toyota engine, apparently some of that valve train problems they were having at Daytona carried over to the unrestricted engine, and they've had to back way
Turn
off.
2. Casey Mears.
Oh yeah.
Nowhere for Dale Earnhardt Jr. to go in that 88 car.
2 more cars hard in the wall behind them. One is Hornish.
Someone has run underneath the 5 car, it looks
The
like.
others, Reed Sorensen, and Mears ends up on
Oh
his
yeah, that's
roof.
right. I remember
up high,
this.
and he just loses it there. Comes down right.
Just clipped Dale Earnhardt
Just
Jr.
Bop to the
But now
outside
this
wall
one,
with
it
the
really
driver's
is on
side,
one
and then this.
Hornish already
Just
had
jacked
damage
him
in
up.
the hood, was
Hornish
up so far
completely
high,
jacked
couldn't
him
see
up.
out of the windshield, I don't think.
Now watch Junior in the 88 come into this, get clipped, knocking the right side sheet metal off and banging the left side.
That's a great view, giving you an idea just how quickly
Oh, this is another
the
one.
situation in front of you on the track can change. Michael Annett there slowing down to come to pit road for a
Just
pass-through penalty.
bopped. I watched that live too
For the lead.
with my dad
And
as
into the
well.
wall. Oh, and collects another one. That's Junior up in turn 1, I believe.
Man, once again, Dale Jr. two clips in a row.
You see Harvick trying to get a big run up out the corner, and I
Man.
believe he just misjudged right there. He thought that Hamlin was going to be a little more speed on the exit of the corner. There. He
Man.
was just going to slide up in behind him at that point in time.
Man, oh
and just
man.
misjudged a little, whether it was the 11 had to be out the throttle just a little.
My gosh, that's nuts. Ooh.
Not quite the advantage.
Oh yeah, this was.
In the past,
Oh, this is Sauter. This is Johnny Sauter. Yeah.
Big wreck. Drew Dollar involved in that.
Oof.
That has every look of.
Man,
Tore his whole side off.
that's crazy. You know, when I first saw photos of that crash, or when I first saw the footage of it or whatever, I thought Sauter died. I thought there was a wreck that was so severe. This wreck was so bad that Johnny got killed, but he didn't. He didn't. I'm glad for that. I'm glad that he's all right, even to this day. But still, that was, I mean, you just seeing the photos of the crash, I was thinking, oh my gosh, what happened to him? Did he just get hit so hard to the passenger side that, you know, like all the G's got to him on the driver's side, to the driver's side and to his body, that it just kind of put him in forced him into whiplash or something? I just didn't know, man. I honestly thought Johnny was dead, but he's not, and that's good.
So Hutchins has already had his issue and has come off the wall.
Yeah, but why would you? I still.
Sauter and Dollar came up.
But I even would look at this clip often, and I still wouldn't understand or don't understand why Trey Hutchins just stopped in the middle of the track.
Been out yet, and the drivers didn't know that Hutchins was just going to be sitting in the road. You could see
That's
Sauter
still
wouldn't be able to see
nuts.
through the 51 truck of Dollar.
My
and look,
gosh.
the speed that John Hunter has coming in there.
Hey, I got to tell
That's
you about Earnhardt real
nuts.
quick. Larry said that he'd get on Earnhardt and said, don't you think Auto?
Oh yeah,
Hard in the wall.
Brian
Oh,
Vickers.
that was a hard lick.
And that is Brian
Another
Vickers.
right rear tire went down to me.
Man,
My gosh, that was a hard lick.
You know, we saw that car really dancing around. You made a comment about it, DW. And the next thing you know, he went to go into turn one, and the car just turned around.
Oh my gosh. Look at that. That's
how many times is Dale Jr. going to be featured with
You
this?
can see just a little bit of smoke come off this 14 car just as he starts to get into turn one. You can start to see the sidewall of the tire hanging out.
There she
Around
goes.
it goes. There's just nothing you can do in that situation.
Man,
Goodness.
that was still pretty vicious right there when it comes to Vickers' crash.
Just caught him.
A lot of movement back in the field. This is just like the cautions we had earlier in the night. The field is split. We had 9 or 10 cars decide to stay out. From about 10th on back, they come to get tires. We've had another crash.
Already the 26 to 33. Bliss again involved in an incident.
Oh, Mike Bliss.
J.J. Yaley this time also caught up.
I forgot Mike Bliss was in this race. Oh, Michael Annette.
Ripped off of Michael Annette's
Michael
car.
Annette
And the biggest concern
was
there,
the culprit of
all over
that.
the racetrack, that blue energy absorbent foam. It's required, Rick, to be in the race car to run. So the 46, even if they come to pit road and they can repair that door and put the sheet metal back on, NASCAR will require them to have that blue foam installed as well. It's a safety initiative NASCAR started years ago. It's part of the rule book. You have to have it in your car to be on the racetrack.
Yeah.
There you see the leaders. Dale Jarrett.
Oh boy.
And Jeff Gordon at it. We got
This
a
is
wreck in turn two.
96.
Oh, and a terrible wreck.
Yeah, this has to be
One car is
96.
absolutely disintegrated as Johnny Benson clobbered a car coming
Man.
down.
Oh, yep.
And Ricky Craven has been caught up in it.
So yeah, I say this is 96 because this is around the time Dale Jarrett went to Yates and Quality Care had just come on board.
There you see the 30 up on the outside in the wall.
And this was also before the Monte Carlos actually had the headlight decals applied. This is when they had the outline back in 95 and 96. Man, that's nuts. See, I watched this live too.
And the 34, David Reagan.
Man.
Blue right front.
And the thing is, Danica's running fine, and then lost a tire.
Get lower if you can. Lower if you can. Back's coming outside of you.
All right, so to educate some of the newer people that are just getting into NASCAR, you already can tell that tracks that have smaller amounts of banking, kind of like Phoenix, for instance, where it's more flat through turns 3 and 4. At the time, turns 3 and 4 here, I mean, it's flat. So you don't have that banking. You can't depend on the banking at other places like Vegas or Kansas or Texas, for example. Just scrub off speed, at least a small amount of speed heading up the hill before hitting the wall. I mean, here, you can apply as much brake as possible to soften the hit, and it still can just barely make a difference, kind of like this. But still, I may have spoken or had said what I said a little bit wrong, but hopefully I said it in a way that makes a little bit of sense.
The first big noise was the tire, the second was the bearing.
Just bam.
Happened to Jimmy Johnson here last fall. Probably cost him a championship.
Man.
David Reagan was the innocent victim. Reagan was racing Danica for 26th.
That's 2014. I love that camera shot of Ambrose.
Yeah, that's what I would be looking. Oh, trouble. Gosh,
Man.
Hard into the wall. Michael McDowell hard into the wall.
I saw this one. I didn't see this one live, but I saw the replay of it, and I was just amazed of how Newman's hit was just enough to bend the camera angle over. Literally, they literally bent the angle over a little bit.
That guardrail and the tires sends him back out in the middle of the track here.
That's nuts.
Into McDowell.
And that broke the axle on McDowell's car.
You see the rear end housing loose.
Oh, the rear end housing, whatever. Like, watch this hit.
Right at you now.
It was enough to bend the angle of the camera over. Just a little bit on the side. That's insane. Just absolutely insane. All right, well, that was NASCAR can opener crashes right there. If any of you have any other suggestions, feel free to leave some comments down below. I'll be sure to take some of those any requests or any suggestions. But anyways, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you for watching. If you haven't liked, be sure to give this video a like, and if you haven't considered subscribing yet, I recommend you do so in order to keep up with some fine content coming out in the near future. That about does it for me. I'll see you in the next one.